You may not know it, but a newspaper archive subscription also gives you access to the Storied platform. So let me show you how to log in there and then some of the key features at the Storied site. So first off, I'm on the newspaper archive site currently. I'm going to switch over and I'm going to go to the Storied site. It's just storied.com. And you are going to log in up there in the upper right hand corner. I clicked on sign in. You're going to log in with the same username and password that you use on the newspaper archive site. So it's not one more thing for you to remember, it's the same username and password. So I'm going to log into my account. And when you make clippings on Newspaper Archive, they actually save in your Newspaper Archive account and they also save to your Storied account. So that's one little benefit. So this is what the Storied platform looks like and some things that you can do here. So you can add family trees, and I already have some family trees in my account. Here is one that I've already added. However, you can add in a couple of different ways. So I'm going to say start a tree just so that you can see you could start a tree from scratch. You could upload a JEDCOM file from another family history site, or you could even import a tree from Family Search. And we'll talk about why you would want your family tree here and how that's going to be beneficial and helpful for newspaper searching. So you can add your trees. You can access newspaper archive content straight on the Storied platform. So over here in this side navigation panel, I've got newspaper search, and these are the same fields that you have over at Newspaper Archive, and you can do your newspaper archive searching straight on the Storied platform. You can also add relationships outside of a family tree, and I'm going to show you how that looks. So here's my family tree that I'm going to use, and I'm going to go to this guy here named Augustus Poppy, and I'm going to view his profile. And I'm going to add somebody, and we're going to use this relationship here in just a minute with a newspaper clipping, actually. So you'll notice on Augustus's profile page, he has different options here, and we're going to do this relationships. I love that I can include relationships that aren't tied to the family tree, because we all have relationships in our family that are important that are outside the family tree. So I'm going to add a relationship to him, and the person that I am going to add, now these are the default fields, but you can also do other, and I'm going to do other for this one. And this person is a pastor for the Church of Christ. And I'm going to click on next. And then what is this person's name? His name is J.O., and I don't know his full name. I just know his initials, and his last name is Rose. And I know that he is male. That's all I know about him. So I'm going to click on save. And now I've added a relationship, and you can see I can be very specific to my relationships here. You can add all kinds of different relationships and even pets. So that's adding a relationship outside of the tree. You can write stories. So we have a story creator up here. I'm going to click on tell a story, and I could add photos, audio files, PDFs here as part of my story, give it a title, and enter information. And we'll talk about this a bit more when we talk about our clippings and how to be able to tell stories with those clippings. So I can write stories. I have access here in the navigation panel, this historical record search. You have access with your newspaper archive subscription. On the Storied site, you have access to our full collection of historical records. So we have census records, birth, marriage, death records, all kinds of different records here you can search for and utilize on the platform. If I come up here in the navigation panel to my scrapbook, I can add, again, we saw on a story, you can add media files, you can add audio files, you can add photos. You can see I've got newspaper clippings in here. You can add PDFs. So all kinds of items you can add to a scrapbook here. And you can tie those to your stories, which is really cool. We also have over on my navigation panel, we have this idea of groups. And groups is a great way for you to, you can create a group. It can be a family group, friend group, and you can invite your family and friends to your group. And it is a private, safe space where you can write stories, share clippings, share photos with the people that are in your group. We also have hints for your family tree, and we have newspaper matches for your family tree. So both of those are just different types of hints and matches for you to get more information, where Storied's kind of in the background, searching our records and our newspapers for items that are related to the people in your family tree. And now I'm going to show you how to search, and my personal favorite feature is being able to tag people in your family tree to those clippings. So I'm going to do a newspaper search, and I'm going to go back to Augustus Poppy. And I like to do, you could do a first last name search, but I like to do exact phrase searches. And I'm going to search by a year. I'm going to do 1898 for Augustus. And I am looking for his obituary. And if I look in my list, so there were 4 results. I was very specific, his name and the date. So here's the one that I'm looking for right here. You can see in my newspaper search results, very similar to what I see on Newspaper Archive. So I'm going to look at this particular newspaper page. And again, this is all going to seem very familiar if you're searching on Newspaper Archive. It's built straight into the Storied platform. I know where this is, so I don't need to search and find it. Here is the obituary for Augustus. So we have the same tools. You can adjust and zoom in and out, find on the page, go to other pages. I'm going to click on the blue save. That's going to allow me to clip. We have the same clipping tools, so you can change the shape of it. You can also change the size of it by using the blue squares here. It's red at Newspaper Archive. Here it is blue. And I'm going to adjust that around. Now here's what I think is so incredible and awesome about using Storied to find your newspaper clippings. So I'm going to go ahead and click on next. And here's where I can tag people. So I'm going to tag Augustus Poppy. And notice when I started typing him in, he popped up because I have him on my tree. Then I'm going to put in the J.O. Rose. And so I just started typing in his last name, and you can see there he is. So I can tag people outside of the tree as well, and then click done. And what happens is it's saving this clipping to my scrapbook. And I can either view it in my scrapbook, or I can start a story with it. And I want to show you what start a story looks like. So if I click on that, it is going to take the newspaper article that I just clipped and put it into the media for my story. And then I can give this a title. So let's just call this Augustus Poppy's obit. You'll notice that it brought in the name of the newspaper, the location of the newspaper, and the date of the newspaper for me. And then I could write a story here if I wanted to. And I'm just going to do test because this is just to give you an idea of what this looks like. If I click next up here in the upper right hand corner, it's going to give me a small snippet of the media that I added, the title, and a little that's just one line of the test that I put in there. I could put a story author who is in this story. Again, I can tag Augustus, and I can also tag J.O. Rose. I can give it a category if I want to. Let's just do memories for this one. And you don't have to give it a category, but you can. And then click on next. I can see how I want to publish this. I can publish it to groups if I want. I can make it public or private. And since this is just a test, I'm going to make it private. And then I'm going to click on done. So it's going to bring me back to my newspaper results that I had when I searched for Augustus. I'm going to go back. I could continue looking if I wanted to, but I want to take you to the home page and show you that I have a story feed that has all of my stories in it that I have written. And if I come up here to my stories, you'll see here is the story for Augustus Poppy. I can click on it, and there is the story. So just to kind of give you a background and just tips and tidbits of what it would look like for you to take your newspaper archive login information and log in over at storied.com and have access to all of the exciting features that Storied has to offer.